Hello Taurus, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here with your November 2025 mid-month general reading. So we're looking at the second half of November. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch these videos. Please do subscribe and like. If you know your other sign placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, any of those, watch those videos as well for additional perspective. If something in this reading hits home with you or resonates, and you'd like to take a look at how it plays out in your own personal life and situation, or you just like the reading style, if you're interested in a personal reading with me for yourself or possibly a gift for someone else, you can email me for more information, Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. You can click on the description below for those contact details as well. I can usually get back to you within the same day. I do cover all areas of life, love and romance, relationship compatibility, career, work, money, investment, 6 and 12-month overviews, different types, costs, lengths, styles. I'm also quite diligent about the timely scheduling of personal readings, so email me if you're interested. For those of you who will be celebrating Thanksgiving during this time period, a safe and wonderful holiday to you. Okay, Taurus, let's see what the second half of November is bringing in for you. The Two of Coins, juggling a couple of things, needing to make a choice perhaps. Some of you may be thinking about going in one direction. You're struggling perhaps between staying with one situation or going down a new path, wondering if there's something that you can do to affect change in a current, perhaps challenging situation. Some of you may be wondering what to do about a particular work or career or practical situation as well. A job perhaps, a project, a group. Some of you may be considering a new job, a new career path, or a new project of some kind. Next, we have the Queen of Coins, or the Queen of Pentacles. This is the Queen of Earth, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy, Taurus. This is likely you, but for some of you, it might represent another Earth sign or Earth-like sign that is somehow significant. This is the Queen of Coins. It's a general reading, can be male or female energy. Solid, stable, reliable, capable, resourceful, skillful, experienced, particularly in navigating the day-to-day practical world that we live in. The Ace of Swords, truth, epiphany, the light bulb moment. The sword of truth that kind of cuts through all illusion and kind of shows something to be in exactly what it is. The truth and reality of a situation. It may be that something is being brought to your attention, or that you're seeing something in a way that perhaps you've been in denial about in the past, but now you can't anymore. It's kind of front and center. Now your crowning energy, the overall primary focus for the second half of November, is the Seven of Cups. So this is looking at multiple options, kind of thinking about things, maybe daydreaming, fantasizing, looking at what the possibility and potential might be. But it may be that you're feeling a bit lost as to what to do in a situation. So let's take a deeper look. Let's take a look at that Seven of Cups. Because the Seven of Cups can represent looking at multiple options and possibilities and potential in a positive outlook, like what could be the best scenario, right? But it can also represent a little bit of illusionary energy, like not being entirely realistic about a situation. So let's take a look at that. Seven of Cups clarified by the Seven of Cups again. The Moon and the Star. What an interesting combination. It feels like you guys are struggling. You're struggling to figure out what to do in a situation. You're trying to figure out what your options are. Some of you may be looking at it through a bit too much of the rose-colored glasses. You may feel like you're floundering a bit. There may be some deep-seated fears that you have. that may be affecting you. I feel like some of you might be in a situation of some kind which you're trying to avoid letting go of, or quitting, or leaving something behind, because there's still hope of it turning out in a better way or a more positive way. And maybe that's true for some of you, maybe it's not for others of you. I think for some of you, it's having an over idealistic view on a situation. Let's take a look at this Two of Coins. Two of Coins is clarified by the Two of Pentacles, which is the same as the Two of Coins, the Two of Earth. So we have the Six of Cups twice. We have the Two of Earth twice. Really not sure what you want to do. Really kind of in your head, sort of floating around, considering a variety of different possibilities. The Fool and the Seven and the Five of Swords. So the Fool is the very first major arcana card in the tarot. A whole new cycle, a whole new chapter beginning, taking a risk, stepping out of your comfort zone. The Five of Swords, a hard-won victory. Is something worth it or not? I mean, the Five of Swords represents somebody who's willing to do whatever they have to in order to win, whatever that win is, right? So the underlying question to the Five of Swords is something worth it? Because it can also represent, you know, lies, deceit, immoral or unethical behavior in the name of accomplishing something or acquiring a goal, you know, accomplishing a goal, acquiring something, right? Being overly ambitious, or wanting to win to the point that you don't care what the collateral damage is. I feel here like you're in the midst of something. Could be relationship. I feel like for a lot of you, it may be something to do with career and work, or some common project where there's other people involved in it. And I think that you're starting to wonder if it's worth continuing, if perhaps you didn't know what you were getting into, and if you bit off more than you can chew. Let's take a look at this Queen of Coins. Because the Queen of Coins has already passed through the Page and the Knight energy. So the Queen of Coins implies that, you know, she or he is a pretty capable, resourceful person. And they usually have a pretty good idea if they've gotten into something they need to get out of or not, or how to navigate through it. So let's take a look at that Queen of Coins. Page of Swords, Ace of Swords, Ace of Wands. New beginnings with the aces, also with that Fool card, the Page of Swords, news, information coming in. You may be considering walking away from something. It may be a job, it may be a project at a job. Let's take a look at this Ace of Swords. See if we can clarify this a bit more. Three of Pentacles, the Tower, the Ten of Wands. Pretty significant disruptions, chaos, and upheaval within a group of people. And the Ten of Wands, feeling like you're at your wit's end, perhaps feeling overwhelmed. I feel here like something has happened to kind of expose the reality that you may have taken on more than you can do, regardless of who else is involved in that. Now, because this is a general reading, how that plays out is going to vary, and the intensity will vary. But this is a group of people going through a pretty major disruption, not being able to get on the same page, because the Three of Pentacles is about people coming together with a common goal. And so they have to kind of hash out who has what skills, who's contributing what, whose part is what, and how they're all going to kind of come together and contribute their own skills and opinions and ideas and talent in order to accomplish something or build something together. So this is all about, compromise, negotiation, kind of, so everybody gets on the same page. But with the Tower, this is, destruction or upheaval and chaos. And the Ten of Wands is that feeling really overwhelmed. So it may be that you've bitten off more than you can chew with a job, with a role at a job or a project of some kind. If it's not a job, it can represent, maybe in your community. I mean, it's upheaval that's kind of affecting how something needs to happen or get done. It may be that a different approach is needed here, but it also feels like, this could be in work, it could be in community, it could be in your family community as well. But the fundamental energy that I'm picking up here is it's more than you thought it was going to be. And what you've taken on is not sustainable. Either this is something you need to set some boundaries with and create a better balance for yourself, meaning that other people need to take up, what you can't do, or it's something you just need to walk away from. Because there's a sense of there's too much on your shoulders. And you're contemplating, but the overall energy is you're not entirely sure what to do. There's a part of you, I think, that wants to hold on to the original idea or the original expectations of this. And it may be possible, but if it's possible, there needs to be more compromise and negotiation with the other people that are involved in this, because you yourself cannot sustain what you originally took on. Maybe you didn't realize it was going to be so much work, or maybe you didn't realize that, trying to get everybody and keep everybody on the same page was going to be like herding cats or something. It's too much for you've got too much on you. And so either it needs to be sorted out and divvied up in a better way and have some very clear boundaries set. But if that's not possible, then it needs to be something that you let go of and walk away. Advice, guidance, feedback from Spirit. I don't get the sense that this is so much about like a romantic sort of thing, although for some of you it might be perhaps within your home family dynamics, perhaps there's not enough of an even distribution of how the home and family needs to work, and so that has to be sorted out. The Knight of Pentacles, the Two of Swords. The Devil and the Hierophant. There's some kind of unhealthy, perhaps for some of you, even toxic dynamics here within a framework of a business or a traditional hierarchy of some kind. It may be that somebody is taking advantage of the Hierophant usually represents things that are connected with tradition and structure, infrastructure. It can be, government, institutions, hospitals, religions, marriage. It's like the tried and true path, businesses, corporations. But there's this unhealthy energy kind of circulating around it. For job and work, this could be something that, okay, this is a good job, or it has good pay, good benefits, but I'm overworked, right, in exchange for that. It could be some kind of a traditional spiritual or religious path. Again, the energy is that regardless of what this is, there's too much on you. And some very clear boundaries need to be set, and a reshuffling of responsibilities and obligations and duties need to happen here, because the path you're currently on isn't sustainable, regardless of what the specific details of the situation is. You're being asked to take a look at it and make this decision, even though it may be a tough decision, and even though you may be reluctant or resistant to making a decision. It needs to be made on an intellectual and intuitive level. That means not allowing your emotions to run away with you. This is like gut instinct and what we know is true. That Ace of Swords, that truth. Something has been exposed, and it may be something that you don't want to look at or haven't been willing to look at, but you need to. The Knight of Pentacles can represent, if you stay in this situation, again, it needs to represent a more even distribution of whatever is causing you pressure and challenge. And if the redistribution does not happen, or you're told it cannot happen, then this is about making changes for something different, like a different job, a different something. It's not fast or spontaneous. For example, like if you're in a job and it just, I'm not saying quit your job. In fact, the Knight of Pentacles would keep his or her job for a time while they're fluffing up their CV and resume and sending it out and doing some interviews and stuff, because they don't want to quit one job before they have another. This is very cautious, practical energy. So again, it's either reshuffling the weight that's on you so that it's more evenly distributed to people around you. And that's going to require laying some very clear boundaries with people and saying, look, this can't happen this same way. This can't continue. Or it's about making plans to create the change yourself, even if that means walking away. All right, I'm going to leave it there. Taurus, those are your messages for the second half of November 2025. For those of you for whom they made sense and resonated, I hope it gave you some food for thought, that it was helpful for you. If it did, and you'd like to take a deeper look at it, explore what it means in your own personal life and situation, or you just like the reading style, again, if you're interested in a personal reading with me for yourself, or possibly as a gift for someone else, we are entering the holiday season, and personal readings are wonderful gifts. They're easy to give, and they're personal, so something to consider. I will see you all again shortly. Again, if you want to email me for more information, you can click on the description below for those contact details. Be safe, be well. Many blessings to you. And again, for those of you celebrating Thanksgiving during this time period, I hope you have an absolutely wonderful holiday. I will see you all again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.